Gotta love that. Well, we wrap up our sportscast tonight with a senior salute. The class of 2020 missing their final seasons of sports and activities, and tonight we have an impressive group.
We salute you, Jake Garalak, a senior at Anoka. Jake participated in alpine skiing, band, rock climbing, and was a captain for his baseball team and an Eagle Scout. He's sad to be missing his senior year of baseball, but will attend the U of M and major in aerospace engineering. His mom and dad say he's kind and humble, and they're so proud to see the man he's become. And we salute you, Lily Leong of Apple Valley. Lily played hockey, lacrosse, and tennis and was a multi-sport captain. She was looking forward to trying ultimate frisbee this spring. Lily loves being a part of a team and misses seeing all of her teammates and friends in person. Her parents say they're proud of her academic achievements and her involvement in not only sports, but other clubs and activities. She'll attend NDSU after graduation. And we salute you, Tyson Morris, a senior at Hill Murray who is missing his senior season of track and field with the Pioneers. His mother says she's so proud of him and loves him very much, and adds life is never about failure. Instead, it's about learning. And we salute you, Audrey Parker of Egan High School, who was a triple threat finalist in the Hennepin Theater District's Spotlight program last year. She's also participated in Circus Juventus High School State and National Speech. She's also an anchor at Egan High School's Egan AM news program. Her mother says she is amazing.
Congratulations to the entire class. These have been coming in, and I have enjoyed them, and I promise I'm trying to get to as many as we can. You can email me, tell me what sport they're missing, where they're going next fall, and please, no professional photographs. We do enjoy doing the senior salute every Sunday night. We'll see you.